Welcome everybody to today's GOT16RD4 Doug Jones League Daily Recap Podcast, brought to you by the good folks at Nose and IS Fans Productions. Nose, for the very best in a tobaccoless cigarette. Especially designed for no smoking zones. Hanks A Lot 6 met Plymouth First Comers for a 3-game set in Fenway Park in Boston today, playing on grass. Plymouth First Comers won the first game over Hanks A Lot 6 by a score of 4-1. Winning pitcher was Clemens, losing pitcher was Williams. Hanks A Lot 6 won the second game over Plymouth First Comers in a squeaker by a score of 5-4. Winning pitcher was Lindblad, losing pitcher was Righetti. Bobo Newsome started for Plymouth First Comers and Pete Vukovich started for Hanks A Lot 6. Hank Greenberg hit his 30th home run. Hanks A Lot 6 won the third game over Plymouth First Comers in a squeaker by a score of 4-3. Winning pitcher was Ramsey, losing pitcher was Blyleven. Got Bombed Redux met Bod Game of Thrones for a 3-game set in Busch Stadium in St. Louis today, playing on grass. Got Bombed Redux won the first game over Bod Game of Thrones in 10 innings by a score of 8-6. Winning pitcher was Klipstein, losing pitcher was Martin. Leon Day started for Bod Game of Thrones and Matt Cain started for Got Bombed Redux. Bod Game of Thrones won the second game over Got Bombed Redux in a slugfest by a score of 10-6. Winning pitcher was Rommel, losing pitcher was Marbury. Got Bombed Redux won the third game over Bod Game of Thrones in a slugfest by a score of 14-6. Winning pitcher was Garces, losing pitcher was Harrison. Mark Burley started for Bod Game of Thrones and Jack Harshman started for Got Bombed Redux. Doug Jonestown Massacre met Green Sand Beach for a 3-game set in Huntington Avenue grounds in Boston today, playing on grass. The first before a nice crowd of 8,388 under partly cloudy skies, was a 6-5 walk-off victory for the home squad when Camille lined a double to right center, Cullenbine scored, C. Beltran to third. Winning pitcher was Roboski, losing pitcher was McLaughlin. Tom Glavine started for Green Sand Beach. Webster McDonald started for Doug Jonestown Massacre and only went 2.2 innings. In the second game before a nice crowd of 7,656 under partly cloudy skies, Kenny Rogers pitched a complete game to give Green Sand Beach a 5-2 victory over Doug Jonestown Massacre. Losing pitcher was Leesenby. In the third game, Doug Jonestown Massacre won over Green Sand Beach by a score of 7-2. Winning pitcher was Nieves, losing pitcher was Grimes. Electric Amish met Stonehurst Mighty Seasons for a 3-game set in Citi Field in New York today, playing on grass. The first before a sold-out crowd of 41,800 under sunny skies, was a 5-3 walk-off victory for the home squad when Beltra homered to left, Mabry scored, Huggins scored, Keller scored. Winning pitcher was Farr, losing pitcher was Worthington. Charlie Leibrandt started for Stonehurst Mighty Seasons. Duster Males started for Electric Amish. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won the second game over Electric Amish by a score of 4-2. Winning pitcher was Sabathia, losing pitcher was Wahlberg. In the third game, Stonehurst Mighty Seasons won over Electric Amish by a score of 6-2. Winning pitcher was Callahan, losing pitcher was Reuter. Rocket Dogs met Baby Got Bat V for a 3-game set in Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta today, playing on grass. Rocket Dogs won the first game over Baby Got Bat V by a score of 6-1. Winning pitcher was Redman, losing pitcher was Feller. Baby Got Bat V won the second game over Rocket Dogs by a score of 7-5. Winning pitcher was Thigpen, losing pitcher was Kinder. Oral Hildebrand started for Baby Got Bat V. Baby Got Bat V won the third game over Rocket Dogs by a score of 4-1. Winning pitcher was Rodriguez, losing pitcher was Sorrell. Kentucky Mules met Miami Goldfish for a 3-game set in Marlins Park in Miami today, playing on grass. The first before a large crowd of 34,779 under sunny skies, was a 1-0 walk-off victory for the home squad when Rizzo doubled to left, Cuttier scored, Locke to third. Winning pitcher was Ryan, losing pitcher was Brown. John Smoltz started for Miami Goldfish. Miami Goldfish won the second game over Kentucky Mules by a score of 6-3. Winning pitcher was Wakefield, losing pitcher was Gonzalez. In the third game, Kentucky Mules beat Miami Goldfish by a score of 4-0. Winning pitcher was Blayholder, losing pitcher was Luque. Got 16 RD4 Doug Jones League Day's Best Performers. Joe Morgan had the best RC performance today for Doug Jonestown Massacre in today's third game at Huntington Avenue grounds in Boston, creating 2.4 runs on 3 hits. Roger Clemens had the best game score today for Plymouth First Comers. He scored 79. Got Bombed Redux scored the most runs today with 14 in their third game in Busch Stadium. Here are the current standings. In the East Division, Miami Goldfish has a record of 75-69 and has a lead over Plymouth First Comers, who has a record of 73-71. Hanks A Lot 6 has a record of 70-74. Kentucky Mules has a record of 64-80. In the Central Division, Rocket Dogs has a record of 76-68 and has a lead over Baby Got Bat V, who has a record of 72-72. Electric Amish has a record of 68-76. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons has a record of 63-81. In the West Division, Bod Game of Thrones has a record of 89-55 and has a lead over Green Sand Beach, who has a record of 75-69. Got Bombed Redux has a record of 72-72. Doug Jonestown Massacre has a record of 67-77. Here is your GOT16 RD4 Doug Jones Injuries Report. For Miami Goldfish: Castillo, Luis, out for 2 more days, 1 more game. Everett, Carl, out for 10 more days, 9 more games. For Stonehurst Mighty Seasons: Bergmeyer, Tom, out for 5 more days, 4 more games. Perez, Eduardo, out for 2 more days, 1 more game. LaCroix, Matt, out for 16 more days, 14 more games. Here are the current batting leaders. The home run leader is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 48. The top run scorer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 113. The top RBI producer is McGuire, Mark from PFC, who has 134. The highest batting average belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who has .317. McGuire, Mark from PFC, has the most runs created at 111.63. The stolen base leader is Morgan, Joe from DJM, who has 47. The most game-winning RBIs is from Schmidt, Mike from SAT, who has 17. The longest current hit streak belongs to Rosen, Al from CEL, who has hit in 13 straight. The longest hit streak belongs to Jeter, Derek from MGF, who hit in 21 straight. Here are the current pitching leaders. The ERA leader is Blyleven, Bert from PFC at 2.99. The top game winner is Rommel, Eddie from BGO, who has 22. The strikeout leader is Clemens, Roger from PFC, who has 216. The highest number of complete games belongs to Glavine, Tom from GSB, who has 10. Burley, Mark from BGO, has the most innings pitched at 284.0. The saves leader is Ward, Dwayne from DJM, who has 25. Here is tomorrow's schedule. Kentucky Mules is at Plymouth First Comers in Fenway Park, 1946-1950, Boston. Green Sand Beach is at Got Bombed Redux in Truist Park, 2017-2021, Atlanta. Doug Jonestown Massacre is at Bod Game of Thrones in Busch Stadium, 2001-2005, St. Louis. Baby Got Bat V is at Electric Amish in Baker Bowl, 1915-1919, Philadelphia. Stonehurst Mighty Seasons is at Rocket Dogs in Wrigley Field, 2017-2021, Chicago. Miami Goldfish is at Hanks A Lot 6 in American Family Field, 2017-2021, Milwaukee. Thanks for listening to today's game. For the best classic fantasy baseball game on the market, visit imaginesports.com. Good night all, and don't forget nose. Don't just stop smoking, stop smoking nose.
Marijuana we would scorn. So down on the corner the national pastime went on trial. We're talking baseball, Klazuski, Campanella, talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. They knew 'em all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey and the Duke. Well, Casey was winning, Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in. Kiner and Midget Goodell, the Thumper and Mel Parnell, and Ike was the only one winning down